Flat Earth. I'm surprised this is even a topic of discussion again. The Earth is not flat, and I'll give you some proof why it isn't, and if you stick with me through this video, you may find some surprising results of why NASA fakes space station videos and Photoshop pictures of Earth. Let's begin. The biggest thing I see people talking about is how ships reappear when viewing through binoculars or telescope once the ship is out of view over the horizon. Let me show you how this works. This is the Earth, and this is you, and this is your field of vision. Let's pretend for a second that this is a boat. This is the part where people tend to forget that we are not seeing the actual boat, but we are seeing light being reflected off the boat. When the boat goes over the horizon, we can no longer see the light, so we can no longer see the boat. This light right here is the light of the bottom of the boat being reflected off the ocean into space. Remember that, because we're going to talk about that again later. And since light is being reflected upwards, this is the reason people in tall buildings can still see the boat longer than people at ground level. It's because they can still see the light. So when you're using binoculars or a telescope, all you're actually doing is bringing the light closer to you. Remember that light I mentioned earlier that's being reflected off the ocean into space? We can no longer see that light anymore, even with binoculars. That's the reason boats give off that mirage effect where it looks like it's reflecting itself on the bottom or floating on air. Eventually, if you look long enough, the light will go so far over the horizon you can't see it anymore, even with telescope. Okay, flat Earth. How come we're not falling off the edge? It's because we're being protected by a 360 degrees ice wall in Antarctica. This is just silly. People doing balloon experiments prove that without even knowing it. People say the Earth is flat because the United Nations uses the flat Earth model as their seal. If you take a close look at that seal, it has all the markings of the Illuminati. Besides, the Illuminati has the flat Earth in their card game. It's just another trick to keep the people divided. The firmament, this big, impenetrable, and inescapable dome that covers the Earth like a snow globe. This is the reason why we never went to the moon, the reason why we never went to space, and the reason why NASA keeps putting out fake photos that we'll get into later. There's even rumors that planes crashed into it. Listen, if meteors could get in, then we could get out. Even if you don't think we could get out the traditional way, we have the technology to get out other ways.
A light appearing high in the Arctic sky, baffling those who saw it and exciting a lot of comment. Early yesterday morning, just before dawn, this appeared in the Norwegian sky. A blue light, small at first, growing into a spiral, and then disappearing into what appeared to be a black hole. In the northern community of Trøndelag and on a Norwegian military base, cell phones snapped, video cameras rolled, and bloggers got busy.
Tonight, Norwegian authorities are investigating strange lights seen in the Arctic sky. The spiraling white light was seen for several minutes Wednesday morning. Locals say the light appeared to be bigger than the moon. Thousands of Norwegians bombarded the Meteorological Institute to ask what that light could have possibly been. Some feared it could have been a meteor, others a black hole, and there are even those that thought it could be aliens.
The moon, the most telling and obvious sign that the Earth is round. The moon in the northern hemisphere is upside down in the southern hemisphere and vice versa. It amazes me how flat earthers tries to explain this. The lunar eclipse, if this doesn't tell you that the Earth is a ball, I don't know what to tell you. The shadow of the planet is right there in your face. The universal shapes are circles and spheres, and as above, so below. Any shapeless material like a drop of water or even mercury without any influence like gravity must take the shape of a sphere, as if they were bubbles. So why wouldn't Earth follow this same law? We have observatories all over the world capable of seeing hundreds if not millions of light years away. If anyone really wanted to see if the Earth is flat, you should be able to see your own sun at any time at night from any one of these observatories. If anyone think they could debunk the globe Earth theory, this is the way to do it, but that will never happen. And finally, I say we would get into why NASA fake space station videos and Photoshop pictures of Earth, and additionally why the establishment want the population to keep debating on flat Earth, globe Earth. Is to keep us all from the real secret.